In this video, we'll be understanding the building blocks of React.js. So what React.js is actually made up of and what are the core concepts of React.js which you need to have a strong grip on. And based on the understanding level of these concepts, you will be able to write a very good and high performant React code. Because the main usage of React is all about increasing the performance, right? So connecting these four components, the main building blocks of React.js, would actually help you write a very good React.js code, right? So the first thing is JSX. So it is the language which you write React.js code in. So it's not a very complicated thing, guys. It's JSX. It's a syntactic extension of JavaScript. So you're not writing any other programming language or anything. It is very similar to JavaScript. It's just that you will add HTML inside JavaScript. So this is a huge advantage because now whatever logic or code you have to write, you used to write in HTML, that can be simplified a lot better way using the JSX, right? Implementing a loops, switch cases, if else cases, conditional rendering. All of these is easily possible with the JSX. So JSX is nothing new. I mean, you don't even have a learning curve for this. It is just you need to understand how to write HTML inside the JavaScript and what all additional powers you will be getting by writing the JSX code. So it's technically .js file only. You don't even need to change the extension, right? And the next most important thing is React.js is a UI library which is a component based. That is, React.js is a component based UI library. It means you divide the web page into small components. So let's say you have a header, footer, side navigation, main content. So now everything you see in a web page should be actually divided into components, because separation of concerns, the concept here is, if you are dealing with the profile component, so you only deal with that, you only deal with the API calls which is included in, where do you need to get the data from it, what user can perform. Like let's take an example of Instagram. So on the profile of the Instagram, you can follow, you can unfollow, you can check your number of followers, you can check number of people whom you are following. So when you divide each web page into smaller components, the responsibility is also divided. And that way, now you can reuse. Let's say you are defining the entire header. What is header? Header actually maintains the different navigation links and also maintains the user login state, so that it shows login or logout or my account page based on the user login actions. By maintaining header as a separate component, now if you want to show header in any web page, multiple pages will be there, right, in a website. It is very simple because you just import it, as we have already seen how you can export and import. So components are nothing but plain JavaScript functions. That's it. There are two types of components, class based and functional based. But after React version 16, I mean after the release of React hooks, now everything is functional. So component is nothing but a function which is returning JSX code. That's it, right? And the other most important concept, and this is the main thing which you need to focus on, understanding the state. So what is the state of your application? What is the state of your component? How do you manage the state? So basically, state is the data owned by that component. So let's say profile component. Profile component owns the data of profile information like name, email, address, or number of followers, number of people who are following. Information related to that component and the business use case of it, like cart component. So cart will have the state of different products added in the cart. So state is the data owned by that component. And you have another important thing, props. So props in the hierarchy of components, like if you remember the document object model, DOM, header, body, h1, div1, div2, div3. So in the hierarchy of the component, there will be a very huge dependency of the data from one component to another component. Like example, when you log in, so based on that login information, maybe in the header or maybe anywhere, so you store that information and you need to supply that to all other components so that they will know, okay, this user is logged in, so I can show the logged in kind of information, because the same header is displayed in a different way to a logged out user and displayed in a different way to a logged in user. That way, exchanging the data, I mean data from one component is passed down to another component. So props are the data passed from one component to the another component. So understanding these four main blocks or core concepts of React.js is enough for you to write an entire React application. So that's it. Like there is no big learning curve. You need to understand them, but we need to understand them pretty clean. I mean, to the perfection, to the point. The better understanding of you have all of these, then trust me, you will write a very good React.js code. So without wasting, let's deep dive into each of these building blocks and the different sections of it. What is the history, how to write, how to implement them, and yeah, I'm excited.